What is up, guys? So today we're going to talk about... I watched Stun Gun's roast. Sorry, mate. Sorry, I could only manage 3.5 minutes. It was weak. It was dull. It wasn't funny. And it wasn't clever. It was just rather drab. Anyway, moving on to bigger and better things. The Shadow Boxer. Now, credit where credit is due. It was a much more interesting video than Spud Gun Paddy. Now, nicked one of Murph's lines again. The innovator, remember? Alright, yeah, so... so Shadow Boxer. Told you he speaks behind the scenes with Christy, Venis. So what's happened today is Venis has had one of his meltdowns because of the backlash from him buddying up to Shadow has been through the roof. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been extraordinary. So Venis has been crying, having an issue. Oh, they don't like me anymore. So anyway, he's got in touch with Shadow, who's tried to do damage control, saying, you know, Venis is big, he's got an aura about him. You mean a stench about him? His arms are huge. That's sinful, mate. I think you'll find that's sinful, and sticking needles up your backside. That's not real muscle, mate. That's fake muscle. You know what I mean? That's not hyperplasia, mate. Trust me. Yes, so the Chin has had one almighty meltdown because of the backlash he got from all his supporters, you know, for being a simp to Shadow. And shame on Shadow as well. He wants to be the big name in bare knuckle. He wants to, you know, go viral. He wants to be famous. That's his main wish, you know, whether it's through his comedy or his fighting prowess, yeah? But he failed to, he could have lamped Venis. Don't listen to Clown World and all the other do-gooders said, oh no, he might have got arrested, you can't have that. Oh, they wouldn't have got arrested, and if they did, night in the cells, none of them would have pressed charges, just had a little tear up because they'd had a couple of drinks, you know? But that was the excuse. Shadow was intoxicated, so he might have come off it a bit worse, you know. To be honest, they're an even match. Now, seeing that picture where they're like that and they're grinning like treasure cats, you know, like that. I hope everyone's blessed. I hope everyone's well. And you can clearly see Venis is on a slope. He's on the higher edge of the slope. You see when outside the pub, it's not a straight road. He's got a good 3-4 inches height on him, you know, plus he's wearing his extra thick trainers, yeah? So, because he's only little short arses, Venis, 5'2", 5'2.5", 5'1", I don't know. So, say it around there anyway, you know, little roided up muscle man, you know, muscles don't make you a tough guy, Venis, do you know what I mean? Otherwise you'll be getting a bit of boom, boom! Bit of that, mate. Anyway, sorry, don't know what come over me, a bit of the rage there from the ticking time bomb. Anyway, yeah, so basically, Shadow came on, made every excuse for Venis, tried to change public opinion that Venis is a sweetheart, he's such a nice guy, he's got an aura, he's a top-ranked fighting man, he'd love to be fighting for that vacant title on Bad to the Bone. Well, Venis has had one fight and he's getting a title shot. Shadow Bacon has a 0. Not, well, we can hardly call Andy Goyen Bash, you know. So we call us at a 0. So why not? Why not? You know, whether it doesn't matter if Bad to the Bone's got a sexual deviant on their card, does it? After all, he was treated like a VIP. And alright, Shadow didn't go the whole way with that woman, yeah? I think that was only because she legged it out of the house, mate. Do you know what I mean? You're pulling the fucking woman's trousers down on a first date. A Tinder date. You was a stranger. And instead of being a gentleman, she tried to pull her fucking clothes off. Sorry, mate. You can dress it up however you want. Maybe you ain't as bad as the court documents say, but it just don't look good, mate. But yeah, anyway, back to, yeah, so look, 9 weeks' time is when Venis fights. No doubt we'll hear Shadow Bacon begging Venis if he can get a little spot on the card. Because in that 9 weeks, he could be in a 9 weeks training camp, ladies and gentlemen. extra vaping on the armchair, more gambling in the evening, sinking more Guinness. Venis is not in fight condition himself. He's just a pumped up little steroid man. You know what I mean? I see him, I read his comments. He's still lying, he's still getting a cob on every time someone says, are you natural? Oh yeah, why do you think? Do you think I'm on PEDs? Yes, we do. D-Bol, Tren, Test, Anadrol. Do you know what I mean? Probably a bit of coke as well. You know, sniffed at the weekend. You know, you might have not been drunk, mate, but I bet you was fucking in the bathroom a few times during that fight, platform event, whatever it was. Bad to the bone, yeah. When someone gets a fucking heavyweight title shot at a vacant title when they've only got one fucking fight under their belt, and Venis is like, no, I fought loads of times, you know, I'm undefeated. 34 fights, 33 knockouts, something like that, some overinflated record. Mate, that was about 9 or 10 years ago. That's like me saying I fucking had 90 plus fights. It's like me saying now, you know what I mean, like I'm an old fart. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna cut. Look, yous men are too old to be fucking main eventing, getting hand-picked opponents, getting Mickey Mouse fucking titles put on you. You're too old for that, Venis. You're 40 or you're nearly 50, mate. Same with Christie, his best days are behind him. I mean, he gives it a go, so yeah, you know, respect for that, but yous are old men, even Shadows, you know, he should be thinking about, if he was actually a professional fighter, he'd be at the end of his career now. At the moment, he's at the start. Same with Brett May. He should be thinking about, like, oh yeah, I've got 1 or 2 years left. But these men are starting out. They're in their late 30s, 40s. You couldn't make it up. Where do we find these fucking nitwits? And then you got all the little fanboys saying, yeah, I think you do. I think that'd be a class fight, that'd be a good fight, that would be, Shad. These men ain't fighters. You see them in every fucking town up and down the country, Friday, Saturday night, in the boozer. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of tough nuts around every area. You know, they've had a skinful of fucking Guinness or fucking Bacardi, and yeah, they're going to have a fight, and yet some of them can fight. That's these men. These men are just like pub rulers, amateurs. They're not professional. Who gets a fucking title shot when they've got one fucking fight against an unnamed, unknown opponent? And their Shadows thinking, yeah, that could be me, and we're gonna go places, Paddy. You know, no. Yous men need a reality check, and I'm here to give it. You're all past it, mate. You're all old fossils. You barely be able to sell out a fucking bingo hall. That's the facts, mate. Same with decades. An old man, he's in his 40s. Do you know what I'm saying? Plus, he's gone too soft. You know? It is what it is, people. But have a good night. I thought I'd just come on. But yeah, interesting stuff from Shadow. He tried to defend his master's honour. Do you know what I mean? But sorry, Shadow. We know he's been crying behind the scenes about, me mental health. They don't like me. They don't like me anymore. They call me a fake. Oh, Shadow, get on. Oh, no. I'm going to quit. I'm going to delete my channel. Oh, me mental health. Venis, you've always been a crybaby. You've always been a bit of an emotional man-child. You can't take criticism, mate. It's the facts. It's the truth. Do you know what I mean? You're a goof at the end of the day. God bless.